Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Feliz martes, feliz terça-feira. All right, so today was squat day. Let's get right into it. I have, today I used the Montana method, the updated Montana method, the one block idea there for my squat programming for today. That was interesting. 10 sets of 3 at 235. Velocity is pretty good until about set 8 or 9, I think, started to taper off. I'm going to take a better look at the tape later, but things felt pretty good. We'll see how that goes. I accumulated a good bit of fatigue. I was feeling it towards the end, but again, bar speed looked okay. So that's usually the real, the integrator of information there in terms of telling you what's exactly happening. So as a note, again, John Hanley, smart guy, strong guy, thinks a lot about programming, has put together a lot of evidence for what his ideas are. You should check those out. Hashtag Montana method. He's got a nice update out there, especially for bench. I'm just taking that one bench block and applying it to squat because they're both exercises that start on the eccentric phase. Basically, you start at the end of the lift, go down, and then you're able to use some sort of reflex mechanism to get out, but not quite, but whatever. Just trying things out because squat's not super important to me as long as the other stuff is doing okay. It's kind of an accessory to deadlifts, but I digress. Worth checking out. And while I was doing it, the only thing that I thought was interesting was there's this Canadian from many, many years ago, like he was popular back in the 50s. This guy, Doug Hepburn, had a kind of similar block. He had this block where I think it was like 8 sets of 2. And so you'd have a starting weight and you do these 8 doubles, and then every week or so you'd add like one of those doubles would flip to a triple. And once you got everything, like got to 8 triples, then you incremented the weight and just started to cycle over again. So it was like this really long progression. But I've seen a lot of people have really good success with it. And I was thinking it's kind of the same idea that if you're trying to build a good bit of volume over a fairly decent intensity level, but you're not exhausting yourself every set. Very much behind the similar idea behind what John Hanley has in the Montana method. So I was like, hey, it's kind of cool that this one method that Doug Hepburn wrote years ago ran himself very effectively. And again, I've seen other people run it with good results as well. He's got some evidence for why a fairly similar structure for one of his blocks would work pretty well. Thought that was interesting. The other thing I just noted today, shout out to Andy Baker. Back in like 2015, 2016, somewhere in there, I paid for some programming. I was in his, he had this barbell club thing. It was on Facebook, and it was a relatively cheap programming service, like $25 a month or something like that. And you got some useful information, a lot of good ideas. But nonetheless, he still sends out emails, about 1 email a month or so. It's not, he's not a spammy guy. It's an email, has good information in it, got some useful links in it. Sure, there's like a thing, hey, don't forget I do programming if you want to pay for programming kind of thing, but it's not obnoxious. It's just good information. It's good business. But he was talking about deloads, and deloads are interesting because, deload is, it's magic. Basically, some people just need to drop in intensity in terms of like weight on the bar. Some people need to drop in volume. Some people need a mix of both. Some people just walk away. And let me tell you this, the same person can try a deload strategy again later in time and it not work at all for them. They need to switch it to something else. So that's like, if you want to talk about where there's any real voodoo still in programming, it's how to let fatigue kind of dissipate and do it smartly. But nonetheless, he's got some good ideas on that and how to work through things. But he mentioned this idea of these core exercises. And I thought it was funny because while I was doing my squats, my actual physical core, my torso, was kind of sore. I'm like, oh man, those archers are kind of doing their job. They're working the core a little bit more than, on that than I was expecting. And so today I'm like, well, I got a little bit of residual fatigue there that's starting to crop up, which is okay. But it's kind of funny that the core exercises that he's talking about, which are squat, bench, and deadlift, they're also exercises that any given program are going to be the ones that work your core the most. They are going to be the exercises that demand stability in your torso. So they're important in two ways, right? They are important in that they are large, multi-joint, compound exercises that involve a lot of muscle mass. So you move a lot of weight and get a lot of work done in a very short period of time. It's a bonus. That's why compound lifts are good. But at the same time, they also engage that entire trunk. And it's very important to have a strong trunk. It's going to serve you well as you get older, right? You have strong spinal erectors, strong abdominal muscles, all that kind of stuff. Helps for mobility, stability, all those kinds of things. So core exercises in that context are also exercises that work the core. Me personally, I do almost zero core work, but I have a very strong core because I do deadlifts, do squats, still do my bench press, which works the core as well, do my overhead press now, integrated that again. And then also another one that does work it as well are just simple pull-ups, right? Because again, your core is now resisting tension, is resisting, your body pulling itself apart. So anything to work that is good stuff. All right, so that's a long enough video for today. Cut it down by about half. A lot less jibber jabber this time, but nonetheless, have a great Tuesday. Un ottimo terça-feira. And don't forget, get into those gyms, hit those goals, and get swole. And I will see you tomorrow for bench day. Dia de supino. Peace.